Well, happy Saturday afternoon. My name's Eric Edberg. It's great to see you again with the second in a series of Saturday afternoon cello tips. Today, I want to talk about shifting with certainty so that you know you're going to get from one place to another. When you're certain about that, it really reduces anxiety. Anxiety comes from uncertainty, from not being sure that we can control things. So I thought I would talk about a couple of shifts that people often have difficulty with, young cellists. It comes in the Brahms E minor sonata. I'm going to start at the beginning. Everybody usually has not much problem with that part. Oh, I just realized this is set on a private setting. Let me stop. Okay, hold on. Okay. Video. And if you're watching it on YouTube, which I don't think anybody is, but if you are, that was a goof. Okay, here we go. Public. Hi, happy Saturday afternoon. I'm Eric Edberg here with another cello tip that I'm doing on Saturday afternoon. Today, my goal in terms of technology is to do YouTube Live and Facebook Live at the same time. If you'd rather be watching this on YouTube Live, it's youtube.com/Eric Edberg, all one word, /C/live. I think that's it. I'll put it in the description later. I'm going to be talking about shifting and how to do shifts with certainty, because when you know that you're going to successfully get from one place to another, you're not anxious about it. And one of the important things in doing anything in life, including playing the cello, is releasing anxieties so that we're free to make music and to live life and express ourselves. There are two shifts in the Brahms E minor cello sonata in the exposition that a lot of young cellists have difficulty with, and I wanted to talk about them today. I'm going to start at the beginning of the sonata, and then I'll get to the part where we tend to have issues. And here it is. Those two big shifts that I just did. The first one starting on C, and you have this big shift from E to B flat, and the next one from F, and then from A to C. And some people do that with an open string, and then come up to the C that way. How can you get up there without guessing, without hoping, without feeling like you're throwing darts in the dark? That's how it used to seem to me when I was first learning. It's like, oh my gosh, it's up there so high on the fingerboard. If you're not a cellist, we have this kind of a unique kind of jargon where this way we call up, even though physically it's down because the pitches are going up. So here's how we can make those shifts certain. First thing is to know what are the two positions that we're using. So in the first shift, we're starting on E natural, and we're in what we call first position, where our first finger is on E, and you know, if you're a cellist, what the other notes are. Our arrival point is third finger on B flat here. Now, I've been playing the cello for almost 50 years, so I kind of know where it is. But finding our way there, that's the question. So when our first finger is on B flat, where are the other fingers? Usually they're on A and G, so that we have a whole step between A and G and a half step between A and B flat. They could also be, and I find this very helpful with this shift in particular, to have the first finger on G sharp, the second finger on A, and the third finger on B flat. On this D string, that would mean that the first finger is on C sharp, second finger on D, third finger on E flat. The reason I like this is because I find it very helpful to not mix an extension and a shift. An extension is when we have more than a half step between the first and the second fingers, so that my hand isn't stretched out and tight while I'm shifting. So in the case of this shift, I have going from E, and I actually use my first finger as a traveling finger to get from this position, first position, to this position where we really have stopped numbering, but the first finger is on C sharp. And I find it that way. I travel up, so I know what my traveling finger is, in this case 1, with no extension to the new position, and drop the third finger down, in this case on the A string. So I'm shifting on the original finger, or the old finger in the old position. I'm staying on this string that I was on, and then I'm moving everything over to the new string, which this case is the A string. So slowly I come up to C sharp. It's going to be silent when I perform it, but when I practice making the glissando. I call that slurp your way to success when practicing shifts. And then get that third finger down. Once I'm comfortable that I can do that, then I can stop the bow. And if that works, then I know I can get and either come back to first position or to half position. Come back to half position, or I can come back to fourth position. Then getting up to the C, the next big shift, let's say that I'm using the open A string, as many people do. Well, what happens then, because I'm not playing anything on the D string, I have this open string. I can still shift on the D string up to E, the note that my second finger is in the position where my third finger is on C. So I'm coming up to C. Here's my second finger. My second finger was already on the D string. So you just bring the second finger up to E, and your third finger is right there. So I'm practicing coming up to E on the D string, and then I just do it while I'm playing the open string. The other fingering that people often do is to start the F on first finger in the third position, playing the A with 1, and in this case then you can bring your first finger up to, in my case I like to come to D sharp or E flat. You could also try it with D. You just have an extension if you're doing that. Now, that can seem a little bit complicated, especially if you're not used to analyzing shifts like this. But if you talk to other professional cellists, if you're in a pre-professional or non-professional stage of cello life, you'll find that this is really how most people work these shifts out. There's no guessing. I'm not trying to just throw my hand up onto the B flat and onto the C. I'm physically traveling on the cello. I practice using my ear to guide my hand, and then it takes all the guesswork out of it, and it actually, those shifts, which can be very terrifying when you're first learning to play the cello, can actually be easy. Last thing I want to emphasize is this principle of not stretching, not extending, and shifting at the same time. Where a lot of people get off, even if they're thinking of connecting the position, is that their fingers will be tight and stretched out. And when you do that, the accuracy can really go off because you've got the tightness in the fingers and your hand isn't able to respond to the signals from the brain so much. So release excess tensions. Know which finger you're traveling on, and in this case, from the E to the B flat, it's the first finger. Know what note you're arriving to on the D string. This case, I recommend C sharp. You can also do C, but C sharp to eliminate the stretch, and put the third finger down on the A string. I find that really helpful. The students that I've shared it with have found it really helpful, and I hope you do too. I'll see you next Saturday. If this was helpful, please like it, share it, and add any comments or questions you have, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Okay, and here. Yes.